Let's talk about General Electric. A lot of you either own it or have owned it. The bulb is shattering, not just for GE, because it had some problems last week, but now for its investors. Shares are feeling the wrath of a series of analyst downgrades as the straight reels from disappointing earnings and an uncertain future for the industrial giant's prized dividend. What does that mean? People are in this stock for the dividend in many cases, but as it falls 6 1/3%, and if you stretched it out to the past year or two, you'd see even worse. The worry is that the dividend will be cut way more than anybody expected. Let us bring in Charlie Gasparino. You've been, out front in the changes at GE since day one.
You're not happy to see me?
I missed you. and so did our viewers.
Oh, God. The vitriol that I get on Twitter from a few jerks.
And the complaints, don't complain to me.
Why
complain
do you put him on?
Charlie.
Why do you put that idiot on? He hates Trump. He's a never-Trumper. He despises the president. He's our president. He hates him. I don't hate Trump.
You don't. I know that.
I know him well.
You call it like you see it.
Nobody said I hated Obama when I wrote all those nasty things about them.
Yeah,
I'm a journalist. I cover it pretty straight. Yeah, well, we can't go. GE is a big stock. It's owned by a lot of retail people, like average people. It pays a big dividend, which is why it's basically given, they have tons of employees that own the stock because of that dividend, right? They hold on to it for retirement savings. It is a big company. It's one of the oldest, I think it might be the oldest sort of continuous company in the Dow.
Correct.
Right? So it's a huge thing. And right now it is at a crisis point. And it's at a crisis point because after many years, the stock hasn't moved, only down. Particularly the last 2 years. That's why the former CEO, Jeff Immelt, isn't there. That's why John Flannery's there. And that's why Nelson Peltz's Trian Management, in the name of Ed Garden, he's the partner at Trian that's actually now on the board of GE. So changes are coming to GE. A lot of people are focused on the dividend. I think it's likely to stay. I don't think they're going to cut it. I don't think.
What?
I don't think.
You know that's coming.
I don't think. I don't know. You remember, a lot of the GE old employees rely on that. But here's what I think. And so don't trade this based on my opinion about the dividend. And I think the dividend story is way overplayed. What I do know is going on inside the company is Flannery, John Flannery, doing this top-to-bottom review. And here's where I think investors are missing the boat on this thing. He is really looking at all scenarios, including a major breakup of GE. Now, if you look at GE's various lines of business, energy, right, healthcare, technology, you name it. A lot of businesses that aren't really contiguous, right? They're not. It's a conglomerate, so they're not perfectly aligned. Right. There's not a lot of synergies between them all. So what I understand Flannery is looking at, one of the scenarios. I'm not saying he's going to go there, but if he does go there, this is the one thing I think analysts say is going to boost the stock, is to break up the company into various other companies.
Exactly, but it's not only this toxic is an overstatement, right, but tough to hold the stock right now. Even the people who have left the company, these executives, they've got a negative tinge to them, too. I mean, Chip Blankenship has just gone to the company Arconic, which had spun off from Alcoa, and he's going to be the new CEO. That stock is down.
Right.
That stock's down about, well, last I checked, 9%. I think then it went down less than that, 7%.
I can't imagine it went down on
now
him.
It's down 10%.
So you think it went down
all
on him?
Because an ex-GE guy is now going to be the CEO.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
Well, not all because. Okay. I'm not sure, but it's not good.
It's not good. I mean, here's what I'm going to tell you, and this is for the investor out there that's looking to play this stock. There's two things that I do. There's a couple things I know. Number one, Nelson Peltz bought the stock about 2 years ago when it was at 30, right? Trian is now on the board. When he bought it 2 years ago, he believed it was better as a whole. I mean, he didn't want a wholesale breakup. It's now trading at 23. People don't know where Peltz is on this. Right. Does he want a total breakup? The other thing I do know is that Flannery, in looking at the various scenarios, not just the sort of cutting costs, getting rid of the jets and the cars and cutting executive pay, is really looking at ending GE as we know it, is the best way to put it. The various business lines, energy, spinning them out into separate businesses. Yeah. Now, here's the question. When you talk to investors, what do they think about the future of this company as a whole? Right now, the theory is, it used to be that Jack Welch said the whole is bigger than the sum of the parts. Right. Investors are saying, and even GE management is saying, well, we believe the sum of the parts might be bigger than the whole. Thus, the scenario to break it up creates the value. So that's where I would be looking at this. Does he end, and this is where it becomes a huge story, does GE cease to be the big conglomerate it is? We're going to know this very soon, and it's going to be.
In the Dow.
And here's the thing: it's going to be one of the biggest stories of this year, the breakup of GE, if that's where he goes. All I can tell you, I know he's studying it. When you talk to analysts, and if he goes there, the stock is likely to go up.
New glasses?
Yes.
Italy?
No, I bought these for $20 at Duane Reade.
That's right. You got to do the drugstore readers.
Did you miss me? I was like
so much.
By the way, I was drinking so much wine, and I was working. By the way, I worked out at Venice Beach.
I missed you so much.
I worked out on Venice Beach in your old. Did you ever go to Venice Beach when you were?
We went to a beach called Tees in Santa Monica, and then, of course, Malibu.
Of course. But I was at Venice Beach doing pull-ups in the beach.
Oh, that's hot.
And I was doing, I was sprints and pull-ups on the beach.
Well, I'm sure our viewers are welcoming you back with a hearty hug, Charlie.
And then I skipped the shower and went out for dinner that night.
Thank you. That's why we love you. Not. Thanks, Charlie.